both 60, 800,000, 3 years retirement, so retiring at 63. Worst case scenario, and this is what we focus on, this is the foundation, no matter what the market does, that's going to generate $60,000 a year in income off of that 800,000.
Regardless of what happens in the stock market.
Regardless of what happens.
See, this isolates and eliminates the worry of the stock market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They probably did a good job building up the 800,000 in the stock market. They did a great job. Let's congratulate it, and now pass the baton to someone who could manage that money for the rest of your life.
Sure.
And the big piece is we're not looking at outside sources, Social Security. That's just this account.
What happens next?
So, and that's the thing is no matter how long either of them lives. So let's say life expectancy age 90. The numbers keep going for forever, but let's just say age 90. That means that 800,000 worst case would have provided them with 1.6 million in income at age 90.
1.6, okay.
And
Age
then,
90.
of course, that's the worst case scenario.
We call it a zero plan.
Oh, yeah.
Net zero kind of plan, because here's what would happen if the market went to hell in a handbasket the minute you put your money in a safe place. So you don't share in the losses anymore. But
Exactly.
your money doesn't go up either because the market's going down.
Yeah.
So now you got a great example where they basically doubled their money over there, like they got income double worth more than double what they started with, and if they had left their money in the market, they'd probably be down to like 600,000 instead of 800,000 or less.
Oh, even less. And
This is a good thing. Give them safety and peace of mind.
Exactly. And
Good.
then, of course, the benefit of these plans, which is the big misconception when you work with guarantees, is we're not capping or limiting the upside. We don't expect the market to be down every single day for 30 years. So let's just look at the last 12 years. Like you were saying, Coach, a lot of advisors look at the last decade to predict the next decade, and we know that's not
What is the
case.
rule? Past performance cannot
Predict future, but based on historic data. That's the that's the
little
conflict there.
asterisks all over the place on that kind of plan.
Well, let's just say we know the worst case, actual performance over the last 12 years. That 60,000 in 3 years would actually be 72,000 in income. So instead of 60, it'd be 72,000.
That's a nice increase.
And that would increase every single year. So let's use the same example. By age 90, life expectancy table, that 72,000 in income would have been at over 370,000
Wow.
per year
Per year.
income per year. And that means instead of taking out 1.6 million from that 800 investment, it would be 4.8 million in income. And the investment itself, the legacy, the death benefit, the cash would be worth 8 million.
That's incredible.
That's
a
the
spend
problem.
and leave plan. You spent the money and you left more than you started with to your
Wow.
kids and grandkids. You never worry about that. Because a lot of people say, I don't want to spend much because I'm going to leave my children and grandchildren. Well,
Yeah.
now you spend what you spent really good. You can spend more than that down the road, and you leave a really nice legacy to folks. Don't
And
you?
that's the
incredible.
problem. The last 12 years has been so artificially inflated with the returns. Those numbers
They've
just
been
seem
spoiled.
unheard of.
Yeah.
So let's cut it in half, Coach.
Okay.
Cut it in half. The market did half of what it did over
I
the
don't want
last
to.
12 years. It would still generate the 60,000.
Right.
Okay.
So the start value, 3 years, it still would be hitting the number, but that income would increase over time still. It would increase to over 80,000 and then keep going the closer they get to 90. But the thing I like you were saying, Coach, is only thing it's really impacting is that legacy piece. So instead of 8 million, they would still have over 1.6
million.
Wow.
1.6 million while they're still getting the income, and that income is increasing year by year. So the market did half, the 800 still doubled in value, the income would still double over the period of time, and they're still leaving that legacy. It's still a spend and leave plan.
Yep.
And that's where Coach was saying we have the worst case, we know actual performance, landing somewhere in between, the numbers still work.
That really gives you clarity on the financial world and retirement process when you know exactly what your income is going to be at the minimum when you get to retirement. And matter of fact, you can sometimes retire even earlier when you know your income's safe, secure, and guaranteed.